Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World resorts in 2019. Today is day 365.
We woke up this morning here at Boardwalk in our little garden cottage, got up and got ready, and then headed upstairs to club level for breakfast. For New Year's Eve today, they had the chefs there not making omelets this time, but making Mickey waffles. They had all kinds of toppings that you could put on top of the waffles if you wanted. They also had some Krispy Kreme donuts and of course a whole spread of other breakfast foods like they normally have. We had so many different options here. We got plenty of food, sat down and had breakfast here in the club level lounge, and then we headed down to our room to finish checking out because today we do have to finally leave the little garden cottage that we have, and Alyssa's sister is going to be going home. So we called Bell Services to come and transfer some of our bags. We took the rest of them out to the car and loaded them in there, and Alyssa's sister kept her bags with her, took them up to Bell Services to hold them for when Magical Express comes later. We asked her what she wanted to do for her last day here, and she said she wanted to just go to Epcot. Nothing in particular there except for maybe ride Living with the Land because she hasn't ridden it with the Christmas stuff during the daytime. So we went over there and Epcot was a madhouse, completely packed. And we were really surprised that this early in the day it was already so busy, but then again it is New Year's Eve, so we know it's going to be a full house today. Went and waited in line for Living with the Land, and everything else had such a long line that we decided this was the only ride we really had time to do. When we left the Land Pavilion, they had already started putting down tape outside to divide the walkway, which honestly I think they should have all the time. I love it when they have two-way flow of traffic in Epcot, especially in World Showcase. It really helps things out.
They had also started setting up the Mickey head balloon lights for later in the evening, which are really cool, and I'm not sure why they don't use them the rest of the year. They're literally massive lights that help light the pathway, which is always dark anyway, and they're Mickey heads, which is just really awesome, so I wish they had them out all year round. We headed back to Boardwalk to the club level lounge. My sister got some snacks, and then we headed down and waited for Magical Express to take her away. We were very sad, but I was so grateful that she got to be here for Christmas and almost for New Year's. After we said our goodbyes, Robert and I went back up to the lounge, and we were waiting for the text that our room was ready at French Quarter. And we waited, and we ate some snacks, and we waited, and we ate some snacks. And at some point, we realized our room was not going to be ready early and probably not ready on time either. So we decided we won't do a room tour of that. We already have one at French Quarter, so we'll just skip it today and just enjoy the day.
As it was getting later, I started getting more worried about being able to find a spot at Epcot because I wanted to video the fireworks tonight. So I just left before dinner got started, went over to Epcot, and Alyssa decided she wanted to go with me just for now so she doesn't have to try to find me later. She'll know exactly where I'm standing. We walked in and started making our way around World Showcase, and then we saw that they were giving out hats and noisemakers. We knew we had to wait in line for those because they are a staple for New Year's. You've got to make as much noise as possible, and you get a free hat. That's pretty cool. As we continued around World Showcase, we made it past Norway, and right as we were getting to Mexico, I realized this is exactly where I want to be. They've already got everything taped off for the viewing of the fireworks, so I found a spot right next to the railing, set up, got my tripod there, set up and ready to go, and I am set. I'm ready for the New Year's Eve fireworks that are happening in like 6 hours. So I'm gonna be sitting here a while. Alyssa can go back to club level though and get some food. Before she left, she did decide to go get something for me though, because there was a snack in Norway that we've never seen before. At the cart outside that usually just has a few different little snack items and drinks, they actually had something called the Viking dog that has sauerkraut, braised pork, potato salad, and fried onions on top. This was such a weird sounding hot dog that we absolutely had to try it. When she was talking to the cast member there, they said this is actually a New Year's Eve only thing. The only time of year you can get it. It's a one night only deal, and we had to give it a shot. And honestly, it didn't sound good at all to either one of us. We don't necessarily like all the toppings they had on there, but the combination of flavors was amazing. I loved this hot dog.
It really worked. I did not think I was going to enjoy this, and honestly, I didn't think Robert was going to enjoy it because he doesn't like pickles, and they're still on there. He doesn't like mustard. That's also on there. I was like, there's no way he's going to enjoy this, but maybe we can like take some of it off so he can eat it. But it's a one-time thing. Like, you have to get it. You have to try it. And both of us were shocked at how much we liked this. Somehow this combination of flavors works. I don't know how, but we loved it. While we were sitting here, we got to enjoy a beautiful sunset, which was so nice because we are going to be here for a little while. Robert longer than myself, but we are sitting here for a while, so we got to enjoy the sunset. Robert actually did a time lapse of all the people walking by, and we love people watching. I know that's not for everyone, but we really enjoy it. And it's even cooler when you see them fast walking on a video. I did head back over to Boardwalk. It was dark by the time I got there, but I wanted to enjoy dinner. I got back about 10 minutes before dinner was over, which means I can stay a little bit and be there in time for dessert as well. For dinner tonight, they had mac and cheese and they had the steak salad once again. I'm honestly not tired of this because there are so many other options as well. So between all of that, I had plenty of food, and then I did wait for desserts, and they had a really nice spread of desserts tonight. Of course, like always, cookies and cupcakes, but they had the chocolate mousse cake that I love so much. And they had a ton of different macarons. I was really happy they had these because I asked for a little baggie, and I did get to take some back to Robert because this is one of his favorite desserts, and I wanted to make sure he had some tonight.
While she was gone, I just sat there waiting and waiting and waiting for the fireworks to start. I did shoot a couple more time lapses of the crowd as the night went on. It was getting more and more and more packed around me. People kept squeezing in and squeezing in. So I used the tripod and the bag that I had to kind of hold our spot so we have somewhere to stand when it's fireworks time. Now, one thing that Alyssa missed was actually the start of the New Year's Eve celebrations. Here at Epcot, it goes for hours because it has to span all the different time zones of all the different countries. Now, I guess technically some of the countries would have already happened like 12 hours before, but they don't really count those. They just count the ones that are kind of in the 5 or 6 hour window around the United States.
Hello, Epcot World Travelers. Welcome to Epcot's worldwide New Year's Eve Countdown Spectacular. It's time to ring in the new year with style until 1 a.m. as Epcot celebrates the new year. Happy 2020, everyone!
After collecting several different desserts, because I know we're going to be sitting for a while, I did head out, and on the green here at Boardwalk, they had a dance party going. There was a DJ. They even had glow cubes in the drinks. It was a lot of fun. I didn't stick around though because I know it's going to take me a long time to get back to Robert. So I headed down the boardwalk, got into Epcot. I did go the long way, but it was just easier with traffic to go that way. And I was able to see what they were doing in some of the countries, such as in America, they were doing a 5-hour celebration starting at 7 p.m. and they had music going, a DJ. You could go in and out, and so a lot of people would sit there for a bit and then head out. It was actually a nice place to get out of the pathway of all the people and just kind of sit for a few minutes. I didn't stick around here because I do still have a long way to go, but I did get to enjoy the music as I was in stop and go traffic going all the way through the country. I made it all the way over to China, which did take a really long time, and this was the coolest thing. They also had a DJ and a dance party going on here, but they also had a dragon, which is pretty epic, I have to say. No one can top a dragon being at their dance party, so I really enjoyed being here, and this was really an awesome party. Everyone was dancing, having a great time. I did continue on after videoing and taking some pictures because I'm so close to Robert. I finally made it over to him with only 2 hours left until the fireworks, which is great for me because I don't have to sit here for a long time, but I did bring some dessert and snacks, so I feel like I've contributed. When I got there, I started cracking up because Robert had made a little friend. Yoda apparently had given up and been here way too long, and it just looked hilarious the way this backpack was sitting next to Robert.
We sat here and waited for the next couple hours for the fireworks to start. They were going to do Epcot Forever, and then after Epcot Forever, there was going to be a special New Year's tag on. So we waited and waited, and eventually it did start. I had my tripod set up, I had the gimbal on there, recorded the entire show, and honestly, it was amazing. I know we loved the fireworks that were 360 at Magic Kingdom last night, but the Epcot fireworks are just incredible. There's so much exploding at the same time right in front of your face. And I think that's a big part of it is you're really, really close to the fireworks, especially the cannons that shoot off from around the lake. One of them was actually right in front of where we were. So it was a really, really loud show, but it was a really awesome display.
One little smile.
Welcome to our New Year's Eve Countdown Spectacular. As we await the approach of midnight here in the United States, Canada, and Mexico, we should note that many of our World Showcase friends have already greeted the new year. At 10 a.m. this morning, 2020 reached the country of Japan. And 1 hour later, China celebrated the new year. Let's celebrate with them now.
皆様、新年明けましておめでとうございます。
At 6 p.m., the countries of Italy, Norway, France, and Germany toasted the new year. Please join us in saluting our friends across the sea.
Felice Anno Nuovo a tutti! An frohes neues Jahr!
And barely 5 hours ago, our friends in Morocco and the United Kingdom shouted a rousing cheer.
سنة سعيدة.
And now, the United Kingdom's Happy New Year!
And if you'd like to watch the entire fireworks show, that video is linked down in the description below and up there in the corner. Once it was over, the crowd just all pushed towards the exit at the exact same time. So we stood still for a couple minutes, packed up the tripod and all that, and just waited for some of the crowd to pass us by. And then we joined in and started working our way up with them towards the front of the park. We saw that Spaceship Earth actually had some projections on it that weren't there earlier in the night. And then we just kept going up to Spaceship Earth. We wanted to ride this one last time. There's really no wait, which is strange because the park is actually open till 1 a.m., so the rides are still going. But we started the year off with this ride way back on January 1st. We felt it was only appropriate to end the year with Spaceship Earth, so we went over and waited in the quick line for that and rode it. As soon as we got off, the park was closing, it was time to go, and the crowd had drastically thinned out, so we started making our way back to the International Gateway, where we had to walk all the way over to Boardwalk and then walk out to the parking lot to get our car, and then drive over to French Quarter where our room was ready. We did eventually get the text at some point that our room was ready, and when we got to the room, we brought our luggage in from the car, and then we called Bell Services to bring our luggage at 2:30 in the morning. They brought our luggage down for us, and as they were doing that, we were bringing everything into the room. I noticed that in the window next to our room, housekeeping had actually put a little Mickey head with the towels and had put a little Santa hat on it. It was really cute, but it's very late. We're exhausted. So we thanked the bellman, tipped him, and then we got ready for bed. And that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
For our year with the ears.